Okay, perfect. All right, guys, welcome to the boot camp. Thank you for joining us. So I'm going to be speaking to you guys about what the role of CIE is for the particular boot camp. I'm going to go ahead and share an infographic with you guys. So just give me 1 second, please. All right, can everybody see my screen? Okay, great. So we're going to start off with a few things first. A few things is that this boot camp is virtual and it's free. Two very good options for all students. So number one, why a boot camp? So boot camp is essential because you can develop your soft skills and your functional skills at the same time. It's very essential in regards to your portfolio development because that's what you need to have when you start applying for jobs. You need a portfolio, and boot camps like this will allow you to put together a portfolio. And also time efficiency. This boot camp runs from June 5th through June 30th. So that's a short amount of time. And in that short amount of time, this will actually give you some real world experience by doing the projects in this boot camp. Number two, why an internship? An internship is your building block to your career. Think of it that way. It's essential and very necessary. It plays a crucial role in your career success because it gives you practical experience, industry exposure. You can develop all sorts of skills, for example, like teamwork that you may not be able to do remotely, and networking. And also it also allows you to explore career options. And the best part about an internship, it allows you to transition into a full-time job. So why would you not want to do an internship? So another popular question I get asked by students all the time is when to apply. So first things first, start early. The earlier, the better. The sooner you apply, the better for your career. For fall internships, usually the applications begin sometime in spring into the summer sessions. For spring internships, the application process starts about October for the fall semester. So you start the fall semester by applying for spring internships. And it usually starts about October to November, depending on the company. So our fourth question, that's usually a popular one, is how do you apply? Well, first you need the basics, which are build a portfolio, which you can do through GitHub repository, build a portfolio through boot camps such as this. The other is to prepare your resume and cover letters, which are obviously very necessary for any internship application or job. Another way to apply is you can leverage your networks, meaning check with your professors, check with your classmates, talk to industry professionals, get on LinkedIn, start networking, talk to people. And the third one is, this is very necessary, follow up and send thank you notes, meaning after an interview, it's essential to follow up, thanking them for their time and consideration, and just to let them know if anything else is needed, you're there. And the fifth step of all of this, I'm trying to keep it brief as possible, how can we, CIE, help? So we can help in the sense that we can help you put together your resume and portfolio building, your interviewing, presentation, and preparation. And the third is probably the most important. We can bring you these industry connections, or AKA opportunities for internships and jobs, and we can connect you that way. So these are basically the 5 building blocks, I believe, why boot camps and internships are necessary. If anybody has questions, please feel free to let me know. If I can't get to all your questions now, I can definitely answer your questions at a later time as well. So I'm going to hand it back over to Yanilda and stop sharing my screen.
Thank you so much. Let's go. And if you guys have any questions, let's open the floor for 5 minutes questions. And you can raise your hands, and then we are going to answer your questions in the order that you raised your hand. Okay, Ajani, can you please unmute and ask?
All right, so my question is, I guess, mainly for Swati. It's a good question. Are you going to be here for the entire boot camp or just today?
It depends. So I will be here for the entire boot camp. CIE is part of this, so I will be here. You might not see me on every session, but if you need anything, I'm only an email away. If that answers your question.
Oh yeah, it does. Thank you. Thank you.
No problem.
Yelden?
Do we have to apply for it?
Apply for what exactly are you asking about? Applying for the boot camp or an internship?
For like the help and everything, or do we
Oh,
just
I see.
email?
Right. Well, so since you're part of this boot camp, I can actually work with you. So whatever questions you have, if you need help for filling out applications or resumes or cover letter, you can feel free to email me.
Okay, all right, thank you. Can I also get your email in the chat?
Sure. Yeah, I'm going to throw it into the chat right.
Thank you.
No problem. All right. Any more questions?
Okay, so it seems that there are no more questions, but you guys know where to find Swati now. You can write an email directly to her, and she's going to be here sometimes visiting us. And well, we are here for you, right?
That's right. Yep.
All right. So then let's start with today's bootcamp. I see 42 participants. That's pretty much pretty well. Very nice. Are you guys excited? So I know that some of the students are not able to join today, probably because Outlook is kind of acting up. For me, is kind of down on the website. But I am able to access SharePoint. Were you guys able to access SharePoint and look at the agenda? Okay.
Sorry, can you repeat the question again?
Yes. So were you able to access site on SharePoint? The site for SharePoint for the bootcamp?
Yeah, no, I was able to, but yeah, my Outlook was acting up too, only it's acting up as well. The only reason I was able to get the SharePoint is, I was able to access it earlier for this mishap.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put the link to the SharePoint. If you can find this. You can find this. You can access the SharePoint because thankfully SharePoint is not down. However, I want you to go and take a look at it while I am going to share the screen. And talk about the agenda. So the overall agenda for the entire bootcamp is as follows. The day number 1, which is today, you are going to learn about HTML and CSS. We have changed the agenda a little bit since the registration time. So make sure to take a look at the agenda, and if you have any questions, please let us know. Now, before we start the day of today, there is an important, very important form that you have to fill out because that ensures that we have funding for the futures programs like this. This bootcamp is being funded by the major, and it is important that you are providing data for them. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this and drop it in the chat so you can fill out this form before I start this. Please fill out this form. You have like a few minutes, and this form is going to help us out to gather some data about the students that are taking this class or this bootcamp. If you have already filled out, because I saw some people already filled out this, I'm going to that is great for you. You don't have to fill it out again. Yes, these sessions right now are being recorded and they will be uploaded and made available to you in the future. Maybe today, tonight, or tomorrow morning. You're welcome. So please fill out this form, which is very important for us, and then we can start. Let's give it 1 more minute, and then we start the day of the day. So for those of you who just joined, please fill out this form, as it will help us gather data about the students that are taking this bootcamp. Thank you. All right, guys. Do you guys have any questions for me? No questions.
I have,
Yes.
I'm not able to access the SharePoint. It says that my email can't be found in the directory.
Maybe you are trying to access with a different email. Where you received this email, the email where I was sending you guys the messages with the reminder to join this meeting, that's the email where you can use to join the SharePoint, the SharePoint site.
I was able to access it by using my login for CUNY. So if you log in as if you were logging into Blackboard, you should be able to get it.
Oh, that happened to me too, and I used my Gmail, and I thought it wasn't gonna work, so I tried it anyways, and it worked.
Yes, basically it's the email that it was used for registration. If you registered with a Gmail account, you use the Gmail account. If you registered with the college email, you use your college email.
Okay, I'll try that.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Veron?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
So in the section where it says which of the following courses have you taken before, see that there's like CMP, CIS, and CMP. Where are these courses exactly? Because I don't see the names for it.
So CMP 167 is programming methods 1. I'm going to go over it and I will share it to you. 1 second. Let me open the link myself and I will tell you the courses that are in here.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Sure. So the courses in here that you have taken is here. So in here, CMP 167 is introduction to programming, is programming methods 1, programming methods 2. This is computer organization. Also, this is databases. No, this is networks, and this is CIS 166. This is processing programming for CIS, and usually in Python. This in here is databases, introduction to databases, and then this is database design. I don't know for the 128. 331 is networks, and 405 is introduction to network as well. Both of them are networks, but one for CIS and one for CMP. Okay.
Yeah, I got it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay. So let's start with the, after you have filled out, okay, that's good to know. After you have filled out this form, make sure that you have filled out this form. We're going to start the day of today. Okay, we'll start. Oh, that's computer graphics. What is CGI 221? Oh, well, that's interesting. I didn't know that they had this class. All right, guys. Can you guys see this slides? Okay. So today the day for you is to learn about HTML and CSS. Who here has experience with HTML and CSS in the past? Is this your first time, or is this you already have experience? Okay. Not a problem. If it is your first time, not a problem. If it is if you already know, that's great as well. So before I go over to the next slide, what does HTML stands for? Nice. Good to know you have a lot of experience. Yes. Hypertext markup language. Now I have to make sure that you guys know something. HTML is not a programming language. HTML is what? A markup language. Okay, there are two different things. Okay. What about CSS? Is CSS a programming language? Of course not, right? CSS is not a programming language. What is CSS? What does CSS stand for? Yes, cascading style sheet. Perfect. This is the agenda about for today. What is CSS? Creating your first web page, installing an editor or IDE. What is CSS? And styling your first web page. So this is a little bit of a history of what HTML is. The HTML was first written by Tim Berners-Lee in 1983. Who here knows about Tim Berners-Lee? Who is like, he is considered to be the father of what? Anybody? Anybody else? Anyone has heard about? Okay, yes, the father of the internet, the father of the World Wide Web, not the internet itself, because the internet existed way before, but the World Wide Web, right? www. He's the father of the World Wide Web, and yes, we can say web pages. And the idea behind web pages was about sharing, simplify the sharing of scientific research data and as documents to be displayed on the web browser. Okay, so you can open the agenda on SharePoint on what on the SharePoint site. You can see the agenda. Okay. So the most used in HTML version was 4.01, and now we are using HTML5, which is an extension to the HTML version 4.01. So this is the basic structure of a web page, right? The first thing that you have in here is, if we are going to be using HTML5, we have to put this first line, this tag in here, this first line, the doc type element at the beginning of your document, of your HTML document. Why? Because this element in here, doc type HTML, is telling the browser that you are using HTML5. HTML5 has a wider range of features. The HTML of the previous versions didn't have. It has more support of multimedia as well. After you have set the doc type to be HTML, you are going to start your HTML page by opening the element of HTML. Okay, every element, so this element, HTML elements, consist of everything that is inside. This element in here closes at the very end. And this is called, you can either have open tags or closing tags, okay? Opening tags or closing tags. Not all the elements need to have multiple, a closing tag, an open tag, and the closing tags. There are elements that only need one single tag. One single tag that you don't need to have a closing tag for it. All right. So in the back, then we have in here a header. We have head In the heads, we are going to have metadata information. Okay. So also we are going to have the title. This metadata information is not going to be shown in the body. It's not going to be shown in your page, in the content of your page. Okay. This metadata information is for multiple purposes. Okay. One of those purposes is to you can set your libraries, you can link your HTML, you can link other files in there. You can also link your CSS styling sheets. You can also link your scripts. You can also write a script, JavaScript code in the head. You can also set metadata to for search engine. You can add keywords for the search engines to be able to find your web page or your website in a very efficient way. Like if you add the keywords, it's very much easier for the search engine to find your page that is going to be based on a certain category or topics. And the title is the title that will be appearing on the top of your tags. Right. Okay. And then we have what is body. In the body, inside the body element, you're going to write, you're going to have all the sub elements that will make the structure of your content. Everything that you want to display inside the body, inside the page, you have to put them in your body. Now, do you guys have any questions? Let's see. So this is the basic structure, okay? Now, if you guys want to start creating your web page, it's not necessary for you to use an IDE. It's not necessary for you to have a special editor. It is enough for you to use a text notepad on your computer or any text editors in your computer to write your first HTML page. Okay. Let me go ahead and show you that you can do it using, one second, using only your text editor on your computer. Yes, HTML has comments. I will show you how to write comments on HTML. Okay. So let's say I don't have any editors and I want to write my first HTML page. Okay. In order for you to do that, you can go to any text editor that you have in your computer and you can start creating your web page. Right now, this is not one that we want. We want one that has not TXT. We want one that has that ends up in that HTML. So I just open the text editor. Okay. And the first thing you want to do, if you want, is to put in here doc type HTML. And then you open your HTML body your HTML and then your HTML elements, and then I'm going to start with the head. In the head, we contain the many different type of information. Just for a simple showcase right now, I'm going to just put the title element inside the head, and I'm going to put my first page. Okay. No, so HTML is a markup language. HTML is not case sensitive. That means that you can use any case that you want. Okay, you can put uppercase or you can put in lowercase. Closing head. And then body. And inside the body, I'm just going to add a heading for now, just for saying something like hello or welcome to my first page. So for every opening tag for this element, I will have to have a closing tag. And in order for me to have a closing tag, I can do it like this. If I want to write a comment, as someone was asking for a question, how to write comments, you have to put this anchor brackets, then you have to put the exclamation point, and then this is a comment, and wherever you close it, that is where your comment is going to be closed, like that. I'm going to put body because I put body in here. And I close the body. And I close the HTML. Yes. Thank you. And we are going to then save as, because this is a text text document. I don't want a text document. I want to click on all files, and then I want to call this my first page, or any, I'll call it index.html. Okay. And I click on save. And I have already created my first page, which is going to be named index.html. Before I open this index.html that you see in here, which is the one that I have in here, I want to ask you, what do you think is going to be shown on the content of my page that I just created? What is it going to say? Yes. Welcome to first page. Yes. So I open this. I'm going to use my favorite browser. And you are able to see in here that in here I have welcome to first page. And in here on the top, I can see that the title is my first page. The title is in the top. You can see it. This is my first page. That's the tab. The title is for the tab, not for the content of your the title is for the tab, not for the content of your page. Now, do you guys have any questions so far? Were you able to create your first page? Yes, go ahead and ask your question. So I'm just showing you in here. Yes, or you can use any browser. It's not, I just selected my favorite browser, but you can use any browser, okay? If you have Safari, you use Safari. If you have Opera, you use Opera. Yes, next question. Azani?
Yeah, how did you, when you saved it, the drop down menu, what did you click?
All files.
All files.
Save- Yeah. So I'm going to send the link to the recording for today's I will send the link of this recording today, okay? Or tomorrow morning, depending on how long it takes for the video to process. Okay. Any other questions?
I have a
Uh-huh.
question. So I was
Go
still
ahead.
trying to figure out how to open the PowerPoint. When I click on it, it just says that, the agenda, but it doesn't open the PowerPoint.
Yeah,
Oh,
our
yes.
agenda doesn't open a PowerPoint.
Yes, PowerPoint is not there. It's not on SharePoint. Yes. Do you guys want me to share the PowerPoint as well? I will share it.
It'll be great.
Okay, so we'll share it soon. Okay, I just need to upload it. Okay. Let me go ahead and upload it so you guys can have this. How document library.
Hi, I got a question.
Yes. What is your
Is
question?
it the recording is going to be posted? We can review it later.
Yes, the recording is going to be posted. If it does not get posted today, it will be posted in the morning tomorrow. Okay.
Okay, no, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Something went wrong. So there are certain things that are happening right now with Outlook, and it's been down.
May I ask you something?
Yes, go ahead and ask your question.
Yeah, I did the HTML that you did on the notes, but I don't know how to put it on the Safari. Like, how can I put it there? Like,
Yes. Give me 1 second.
sure. How can I put the link there? Just thank you.
Yeah, so I'm unable to upload it right now for the slides, but I will have it sent to you by email. Outlook is down for everyone, yes. So I'm going to stop sharing the screen and go to the debug mode. So if you guys have any questions with the the text file, we are going to debug it right now, and then we are going to continue with the lecture of today for the bootcamp. Okay, so you guys can, who is the person who has errors right now?
Me, I have a, yeah. me.
Go ahead and share your screen and we can debug it together.
Senator.
Hello?
Did I share the screen?
Yes.
Is my screen shared right now?
No.
Oh, wait, share screen is over there. Wait, I'm sorry. Share.
Yes.
Is it good now?
Yes. Did you, let me see your file, please.
This is the file.
Oh, and doc type is without its cake. Not cake, no. No K in doc type.
It's not okay in the doc type?
No K.
Oh, my bad. Yeah.
And let's save it. You're going to save it as
Is it doc type?
index.html, index period .html,
Wait.
index period, indexed.
Oh,
You're going to type the word index, and then and then period HTML. Okay. That's saved as a RTF file. You don't want to save as an RTF file. Remove the RTF files. The RTX, yes, remove that. Remove that, remove that, save.
It still stays as RTF.
So click on file on the top.
File on the top.
Yes, you see text edit file on the top.
File
No, on the top bar where it says file.
Yes.
No. No, no, no. We has to be, you click on here on the text.
On the text edit or just on the text?
Text edit. Oh, it is right. Can you show me the file? Can you go to the text? Can you go to that text file, HTML text files, wherever you have it in your folders?
I put it on the text edit. I put it as a document.
Can you go to documents?
Yes, yeah, it's this one over here.
Can you right click on it? Close.
Yes.
Close this. Right click. And go to properties. Do you have properties in there?
Quick action.
No, click on rename. 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 Yes, it's just that this is being saved as use HTML. No, yes.
Now I can just go in Google and just put it like this.
No, just open.
Oh,
Just double click. You can just double click and it will take you there. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, now you want to make sure to open in your text editor.
I have to open my text editor too?
No, I say open this in your text editor, this HTML. Open it. Right click and open with. Right click, open with. And text editor, your text editor that you want. Yeah. And erase the thing that you have on the top. Erase that.
Should I erase this one too?
Yeah. Erase that as well. Save. Okay, it's saved. Now you can write the code
Nice.
Now you can write the different elements again. So you can start writing the other elements like open all the different tags and so
The
on.
body
Okay.
and the body and everything, the way you did.
Yes. Yes. Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And that was just to show you that you can write your HTML using you can write your HTML using any text editor. But now it's time for you to download a specific editor or IDE for your for our projects. Okay. So what we are going to do is I'm going to share my screen again. So my preferences, 5, no. These are not the only ones, but these are my preferences for when it comes to work with different files and HTML files, web development. If I just want to focus on something lightweight, I can just use Sublime Text. It's super light, and if you don't have a lot of space on your computer, you can download Sublime Text and write all your code, write all of your HTML files and CSS files and any other type of files in a Sublime Text. The one that we are currently going to be using, but it's your choice, is Visual Studio Code. Using Sublime is just it's okay. You can Sublime is a text editor, but for mostly programming text editor or any markup languages text editor. Visual Studio comes with is an IDE, and it comes with many different features for you. And then if you want to use an online editor, I would recommend to use CodePen.io. Yes, Atom is also good, right? Now, it's your choice of which one do you want to use, okay? Yes, I will be using Visual Studio Code, okay? But you can either use a Sublime Text. So I will recommend for you to use Sublime Text, okay? Or Visual Studio Code. Okay, so if you want to download Sublime, you can go online and click on download, look on Google and search for Sublime Text download, and you are going to download the free version of it. If you want to install Visual Studio, you have to download the Visual Studio Code installer. So it also works for your Mac. They also have Visual Studio for Mac. Okay. Do you guys, which one of this do you guys already have? I know that you already have some editors in there because you guys have experience with programming. If not, we are going to go ahead and download together the Visual Studio Code. I already have it downloaded on my computer. But is anyone here that does not have it installed? It's that choice, so you can use any other languages. Any other IDE. If Johnny, if you have a different, maybe Sublime Text, or if you have a different one, it's okay. All you have to do in order to install is just to download the installer, and the installer is going to download everything for you. Any extra libraries that are now already installed, it also will install it for you. So how do you do that? you go ahead and you can go to Google. Just your best friend, one of your best friends, and you guys can go ahead and do a Visual Studio Code download. And then you can go ahead and download the installer. So the installer, right? Depending on which version do you have. And so on. You can click on there and install it. All right. If you don't have it yet, this is the link just to save you from having to type it. And you can download your version of Visual Studio Code. Yes, Johnny?
So do you click on, you choose one of the user installers?
So you click on download, right? Which one are you the one that you're going to be using?
Windows.
Visual Studio Code?
Yeah, Visual Studio Code, yeah.
Okay. So I posted a link to the download, and which computer, which operating system do you have?
Windows.
Yes. Okay, so you can click on here. Just click on download and just download it. Okay.
You just click the Windows part.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And if not, then if you don't feel like doing it, you can click on download either one, user installer or system installer. All right. So while you guys are doing this, I will be creating a folder. For now, I'm going to call this web page, okay? And this is only for today because tomorrow we are going to be using this folder for something different. Oh my gosh, my OneDrive storage option. Talking about it later. Yes, Jenny?
Sorry, so yeah, quick question. When you save the HTML file, you put the name of the file and then you put .html, that's how it comes up.
Yes. Yes.
Once you save it, like, are you able to edit it, like, in the
Yes.
future? Okay.
Yes. So for example, I already saved this as the index.html file. Let's say I want to create a paragraph. Okay. Maybe I will put first a horizontal line. Yeah. Sorry. Let me paragraph. This is a paragraph. If I go back to my first page and I reload, I can see this.
Okay. This is
Sorry for that. All right, so we continue working on this. I feel like moving this HTML index.html. I'm going to be putting it into the web page folder. Okay. I'll close this. And I am going to make sure I have this in here, and I do. I'm going to open my Visual Studio Code. And I will click on Open Folder. And I will go to the desktop where I have my web page folder. And I have it here. I will click on Trust Author. And in here, I can see the HTML code, the HTML elements that I have in there. And we're going to start editing from here, from Visual Studio Code. Any questions? Veron, ask your question. Veron? I see that you have your hand raised. You guys,
Hello?
yes, go ahead
Okay.
and ask your question.
You put HR/HR. What is that?
This is horizontal line.
Oh,
Do you
horizontal
see
line. Got you.
this in here? This line in here? It's just
Oh, okay.
it's a bar, like horizontal bar here, separating, like a divider.
Yeah, yeah, okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So, yes, Ajani?
So I kind of missed when you open up Visual Studios, like how did you automatically get this up on how'd you get the file
Yeah.
on your video?
So basically what I did earlier was that I created a folder. It's okay, you can always open any files that you want, but I just created a folder because I want to keep all the files in one folder to make it organized, okay? And I drag and dropped the HTML file that I created into this folder that I created, okay? And then what I did was that I clicked on file and then I clicked on open folder, and that opened the folder. Okay.
Oh,
I
okay.
think the good thing about this is that about the Visual Studio Code is that you don't even have to look for the terminal or the command prompt, because there you go. It comes with a terminal ready for you to use, and you can. It's a PowerShell integration. You can do PowerShell is good because PowerShell works for Linux commands as well as Windows commands as well, right? So this ls and this terminal means list all the directories in there or all the files in there, right?
Okay, so
Okay.
you drag the whole entire folder into Visual Studios. That's how you do it.
Yes.
Okay.
You can drag the entire folder into Visual Studio and add more files, maybe new file in here, and you can. So, for example, I want to create. I would create something called main.html, or like layout that HTML, any other files that you want to put it, just create it, just right click on it and add one new file, or you can just click on here and automatically add one new file. It's super cool and you don't have to worry about it. Just type in the name, put the right extension that you need, okay? If you need a JavaScript extension, you put it. You need a CSS extension, you put it. Yes, any other questions? I think Mamadou, did you have a question?
No, thank you. I'm sorry for it.
No problem. All right. So let's take a look at the, let's focus a little bit in the body, then we'll go back to the header, to the head in here. Okay, so basically in here, the headings. Before this in here, the headings, H1, H2, H3, H1 is one bigger than the other. So H1 is bigger than the H2, okay? So heading 2. H3 is smaller than H2. All right, heading 3. H1 is the biggest one. So these are like headings. These headings are like for you to start your document, right? When you're writing an essay, when you write a document, right? You want to start with a heading, okay? Luis, I just used the terminal to show them the directories or the number of files that are in that directory by putting ls in the terminal. All right, so any questions so far? Any questions? But HTML5, you also have what is called a header. And this is just for you to put the session for the headers in here. And then you can have something called a footer. And in the middle, you can have different content that you want to have and separate. Right. So we have in here, you can have multiple sessions in HTML. But we're focusing in here. I'm going to put this in here also in the header. We're focusing in here in these basics elements. These ones, let's say H1 up to H7, right? It goes from biggest to smaller. Any questions so far? If we want to write, if let's have in here, usually let's have a divider or and here to divide to it's a div in here. And usually now with the newest thing, the div are not going to be taken into much. Usually instead of using the what I use sessions. In the past, when CSS was not that famous, okay, when CSS was not that famous, we could still style your web page. We could still style the web page without any CSS, only with pure HTML. Before I do that, I'm going to show you something. What do you think is going to happen if I put center and I close this center in here, inside here? What do you think is going to happen if I put center in there? And I'm going to put this in just. What do you think is going to happen if I put center, a center element? Yes, the content within the center element is going to be displayed in the middle. So why don't we go ahead and this is, let me open the file from web page. And you can see in here, welcome to first page, heading to heading 3. Good, right? You can center everything with pure HTML, right? Now, just I wanted to tell you before I show you any CSS, I wanted to show you that you can also change the background color of the body without having to use any CSS. So right now, if I go back to this and I reload this, right, 1 second. If I go back to here and I reload this, and here it's not showing because, second there, this in here, because it's background color. Like this. Oof, that's so ugly, don't you think so? Yes, and people will say, oh, I like cyan better. Which I didn't even know what cyan is. But this is in here so much of what is the 90s, okay? Even though you can set the color and you can set many different things in here, because this in here, this element, this in here, body element has what is called attributes, okay? Attributes. And the attributes can, one of these attributes that belong to the body element is BG color for background color. And this in here is not CSS, it's pure HTML. Yes, Vera, what is your question?
So I wanted to know like how many colors are in the background color like range, like how many colors? I know there's blue, green, red, you know, your basic colors, but how far does it go?
Oh, it goes very far, and you
Oh,
can
okay.
go ahead. We can go ahead and show you the different HTML background colors. Okay, you can do it on a, like if I go ahead and color HTML PG color, and it's not only that because you can always use what is called you can always use hexadecimal numbers, okay? So basically, any color that you can make out with hexadecimal numbers, you see with this hex code, you can put it, understood? And if you don't have this, you can also have the RGB code as well, okay?
But like even by name, like say for instance, there's like some rare color like macaroni yellow or whatever. That
yes, there is a list that is available,
Mhm.
list name. But in here, and like this is for 4.1, These ones, the ones that are supported by the, these ones are the ones that are supported by the browsers for the old colors. But if you have the hexadecimal colors, for example, here we have, let me see, which color is this? Which one would you like to test? These ones. Not all the browsers will be always supporting of colors by putting the names of it. But if they will support it, if you can put some, even the colors might be differing, but if you put the hexadecimal colors, they will display the how the browser is going to translate it. Okay.
Okay.
Is there any colors from here?
You could try blanched
is all
almond. I would say.
Which one?
Blanched almond.
This one.
Yeah.
I can do it by using this hexadecimal colors, the hexadecimal code. But let me see if I can also put it with the name. And yes, the name worked for that. Yep.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Any other questions? Oh, this is a nice color though. Any other questions? Let's continue then looking into this. So how do you create a table element? Anybody has an idea of how to create a table element? Without any CSS, only pure HTML. So anybody, before I tell you how or show you how to create a table, would like to tell me how to create a table? That's a list. Table, correct. You create a table with a table element. So you put table, right? So in here we have what is the TH or this is so basically you can use in here the TH for the header of the heading of your table, okay? And you also have a T body and a T footer, okay? So if I put in here a T head, and also I have T body, and also I have what is a T footer. It's not required for you to have all of this separated like that. It's like you just need a table, and this table needs to have some cells. But I'm going to show you first here about this. You can have this, but in the past, right? The first thing that you want to do is to have a T row, okay? T row, this is in the past, right? And inside the T row, you have what is a TD, okay? And also still in the present. What do you think the TR is for? And what do you think is going to be the TD for? Yes. So TR is for table row, and TD is for the data, which is the cell, right? So every cell in here. But apart from that, okay. What happens in here? TH. And I'm going to also have a T row in here. But before that, What do you think I'm doing in here when I do the TH, 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 TH? Do you think I should have TD, 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 or TH, TH, TH? And do you think what is if I am doing something wrong in here? So before I do anything, I would like to show you something about the table. In the past, when we would actually care about in the past, when we will actually care about using just pure HTML instead of just CSS, you can set what is called the border, okay? So let's say in here, what is the age? So in here, if I put in here the age, hello, hello, wrong, 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 and wrong. And I have in here, let's say, for example, right, right, right. What is going to show in here, if I reload in here, I have in here, why do you think that I have a border that it looks so big in there? Why do you think I have a border that looks so big in there? Because of the border number 2, right? So if I wanted to have no border, what do I put in there? 0, right? And this is from the old time, right? So I go ahead and I reload and I see no borders. But maybe you want to see border, right? Maybe you want to see a super mega big border, right? And you want to do it like this, right? It's like a dip. That's old time, from the old time, from 1995 or something like that. So you're asking if we can put a decimal number like 0.5. And it's basically, like basically in here. Yes. Now, so you have created your table, okay? Let me create a table in a different way. Table. Table head. The body. The footer. Oh, I close it. I don't want to close. The foot. And so in here with the head, right? And then I have the H. The H. Usually you can just do TD in here, but I'm going to put just TH. name, address, phone number. And in the T body, CD. I'm going to put Mary. City. New York. City. Phone number 555-5555. Copy that. Paste it. And before I continue doing with the footer, for example, I try doing this, and I don't know what to put in this footer right here. I'm going to think about it after I look at the output. So right here we have name, address, phone. I'm going to set the border to be border 1. And then I'm going to add something like something at the end for the footer. Maybe like page or something, some words. Table, footer. No, I don't want to have it just like that. I just want to have words in there. And if you want to have it, look at how it appears in the top. You want to have it in a row. And it's still showing in there. But there, we can fix it later on, right? Is that I'm putting it outside of the body. I need to put it inside the footer. There you go. And it makes much sense now. One. And you see it in the first cell because I put it in the cell in there. All right, guys. So this is how you create a table. Let's move on to a different element that I want to show you, okay? Do you guys have any questions about creating tables? If you want to create comments again, you use anchor brackets. exclamation point, dash, dash, and then anything inside there is going to be part of the comment. Okay. Now a list. Anybody would like to tell me how to create a list? Yes. So give me 1 second. I'm going to paste the two, go for the two different tables. Looks weird in here. Yes. Yes. So UL is for another list. Those are the ones that looks like a bullet points without letters or numbers. And the other list are the ones that have letters or numbers. Okay. So in order for you to do that, you will have to, of course, another list. But inside the another list, you will have to do li for every list item. Okay. So let's say for this one, we want to have what is called. Yes, I'm going to share with you if you guys need to look at it later on. But since this is not very organized or anything, I am expecting you to be writing something more organized than this. I want you to the exercise. I want you to create your own page and to make it as neat as you want. Okay, the exercise for today. All right. So let's put the countries. The United States. Another list item. li. Panama. Another list item. Canada. Right. So if I go ahead and I see this, I'm going to see this another item. List, another list. Okay. Any questions so far? No questions so far? Let me show you other elements and then we can move on to CSS. Okay, so an ordered list, okay? So in here, I am using the default, okay? And I have in here li. And I'm going to be using, for this, I'm going to have food and strawberry fruits. li. Berries, I don't know, berry. Cherry, yeah. This is what is called in an order list. And you can change the different type of, for both of these, and for UL and LOL, you can always change the type of bullet point, or if this is another list, you can change it to be letters, uppercase letters. and right here you have a number, okay? That's the number is the default version of it. All right. Any questions so far? So you have seen what is UL, which is the unordered list, and you have seen the OL, which is the ordered list. Okay. Do you guys want to see how to add images? And videos? All right, so for images, the element for images is img, okay? And it is a single tag, img. And this one, you need to have the source, which is the address of the images. I'm going to go to Google and randomly pick an image. And I'm going to go and grab this image from here, right? So I'm going to go ahead and right click on this image, right? And then I'm going to click on copy image link. In other browsers, you might see something that says copy address, image address. So you are going to copy this image link. And as long as it's out there and then over the internet, you will be able to see this image, or you can just download into your folder. I'm going to show you both ways, by using an image that is on the internet or by downloading one into your local folders. So I'm just going to copy and paste. I'm just going to paste this image address in here, and always is good to have what is called it is always good to have what is called a ALT, which is alternative text for those out there that cannot see but they can hear, and that is making your website accessible. So that is alt text. So the text is going to describe what is in the image. Right, so if I go ahead and I check my a page, you will be able to find this right there, the image that I just copied from the internet. You can set properties if you want directly into this image, HTML properties, right? Whereas you can make this the width and the height smaller, right? So I'm going to put this width to be 50%. If I do width 50% and I reload this, I see this smaller. Maybe I don't want the 50, maybe I want the 100. And you guys can always update it. And this is pure HTML. The height. We're going to go over what is height, minimum height, and so on. Height only 6. So this is 100 pixels. No, for now I'll just put 100. If I try this is going to be a little bit bigger, and so on. All right. So this is how you add the image from the internet. You copy the image address. If you want to have an image from your, let's say this image in here, free download. I downloaded this image. This is a peacock feather. You are going to put this image in your folders. I'm going to just rename this because this name is very big. So I'm going to rename it. Thermal options. Rename. Further. G, and then I'm going to show my options. Properties. C, ZPG. I'm going to go ahead and copy this image, got it, and put it in my web page folder. Okay. Usually it's good that you have a folder inside the folder for images separate, but I'm going to just have it here for you guys to see right away. So if I want, I can just change this name and I'm just going to put the word feather in here. Okay, and now I'm going to take away this because I think that my feather is big enough and not so like big as the other one. So I go to my first page, reload. Oh, actually this feather is so big right now. I let me just make it smaller. I thought it was smaller. $50 pixels and height 50 wait, is this bigger than the other? So 100 pixels. Yeah. And here. So let me reload. And there you have it. All right. So there you added images. Now I'm going to ask you to go ahead and watch the video that I'm going to post for you. And I will give you 20 minutes to watch these videos that I'm going to post for you. Okay, 1 second. Give me 1 second. So I need you to go into here, the chat. There's and navigate through here. 1 second. Navigate through this W3 school HTML, and I want you to go and navigate through here for 20 minutes, and I will let you navigate on your own. Okay, learn as much as you can in this 20 minutes, and then going to go over CSS with you guys. Okay. Is that clear, guys? I'm going to mute myself and awesome. So I posted the link. I want you to go through this link for 20 minutes and I'm going to mute myself and take the camera off. You have 20 minutes to do self-exploration, okay? Yes, Mamadou?
Oh, okay, we only learn like HTML.
So I want you to navigate through the link that I have given you to you, and I want you to learn. Yes, to do self exploration to learn on your own. Okay. So you have 20 minutes. Okay, guys. I'm going to set the timer, and we'll be back in 20 minutes. Okay. Okay. We resume the recording. And so one thing that you guys would like to know is the HTML can have what is called the attribute for the elements. For example, the attributes to be set into different languages. Okay. You can have the attribute for HTML for English language, and you can have separate attributes for separate languages for different paragraphs. For example, for different elements as well. Like for example, the paragraph. Okay. So I'm going to erase some of this code in here. And also a table from there. Let me just. I'm going to erase this and this table on the top. I'm going to take away the center. Put this center and here at the bottom, making everything centered. And now let's talk about what can we do, or what can we put inside the head. So one of the things that we can do is that we can set our web page to success by setting metadata information for your page. For example, you can set the char set. You can also set a website description. You can also have a keywords that will help, that will be helping the search engine efficiency, and it's going to probably make that when people look for certain keywords, your website is going to pop up. Okay. And also you can make sure that your website or your web page is responsive by setting some viewports. So let's take a look at this. So before I go into the metadata, let me go first the meta. Okay. In the meta, you can have different you can dedicate a meta element to different type of things. For example, something very important is for you to have metadata for, let's say, for example, that will contain the author of your page, and the author of your page, you want to make sure that it is you. Okay. So for example, Zanilda, and then you can go ahead and close the, it's a single tag. You don't need to have a closing tag for it. Okay. You can also have metadata for the keywords. Do you want to enhance the search engine? Make sure that your web page becomes more famous. And this is very important, the metadata for keywords. Content. So some of the keywords that could be there separated by comma could be basic page, HTML, CSS, etc. Then you close this metadata like this. You can add also metadata for the char set. The char set. Meta name char set. Sorry, not just like this, like that. I meant to say char set, and then in there you can make a UTF-8, and that's a char set, and so on. You can set a description for your web page. Okay, meta name description. Content. My first web page. And so on. There could be there could be many other things that you can put in there. But let's focus now. Now you know how to add metadata into the head. But that is not the only thing that you can do by the heads. There's other things that you can do. For example, if you have another file that you want to link, you can go ahead and link it. But for example, I'm just going to make it as a comment in here because I don't have any CSS files right now or anything like that. Okay. And for example, I can have in here link, and this link is going to be for my styling sheet, and therefore I have to put a styling sheet, a style sheet, type. You put the type txt text CSS, and then the address where your file is located. So for example, your CSS file is located. And I don't have any files yet. I'm going to put this style CSS right now. And I'm done with the link. If I want to have styles, I'm going to put here styles.css. If I want to have another file in here for the styles, I can create it right away. And there you go. I have my style CSS. And it is linked to my web page. But not only we can have styles to be linked, we can also link a script, JavaScript files, or we can also add a script file, a script code for the JavaScript code. But first, I'm going to show you how to link a JavaScript file. Anybody would like to tell me how to link it? Anybody already has experience on how to link it?
Wait, say that again.
How can you link a JavaScript file to my web page? Yes, okay, so you need to have the script tag, right? So how would I go by putting that? So you go by doing this script. And then you put in there the source. And in the source, you can put the address of that script file that you want to have. I'm going to call it, for example, index.js, and you can close it, and then you can, and automatically will have this script as well. If you want, you can close it right away here and not having to close it right there. All right, there you go. I need to close it outside. Now, so we have already, you have seen so many things that can be done in the head, but this is not the only thing, okay? Let's talk about CSS, okay? Am I recording? Yes. So what is CSS? As you already know, some of you already know that CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets. And it was used to describe the presentation of HTML or XML documents. And the idea of CSS was proposed by the Håkon Wium, I don't know how to pronounce this Norse name, but it was proposed by Håkon, and I don't know how to pronounce his name. And the first version of CSS was invented in 1986. And nowadays, we have what are some super sets of CSS, which are extensions for CSS, which is called SCSS or SAS. And those are, for that you will have to install extra, you will have to have an extra process to be able to use the SAS as SSS. Right now, let's focus on CSS. Okay. There are 3 ways of implementing CSS. One is the inline CSS. Another one is the internal CSS. And another one is the external CSS. Which one do you think is the external CSS? Anybody would like to tell me? And just by logic, or if you already have experience. Okay, great. I see the answers. Yes. The external one is the one that you have to link to another page, another CSS page. Yes, another CSS file, right? And what about the internal? What do you think the internal is? So the internal is inside the HTML, but it's not inline. Okay. What about the inline? What do you think is going to be in the inline? Inline is the ones that are you use the property style, and in the property style of every other element, you will be able to update it. So inline, you always will have to use the style in order for you to do the styling. So the BZ color is not a CSS inline, because that is just a HTML default. But the inline, you do it by putting inside the attribute, you put style, and then you put the name of that attribute in there. So I'm going to show you each one of them. Let's take a look. Are you guys ready? Yes. All right. So first, let's start with the inline. So maybe for the inline, I'm going to show you how to change the background color for one element. And this element is the header. Okay, so you put first style, and inside the style, you're going to put background color. And in there, you can select the color that you desire to use. I'm going to put Azure, or if you already have a hexadecimal code, you can put directly the hexadecimal code. If you want to have multiple styles, you have to have the semicolons here. And maybe you want to also set the text colors that are going to be here to be maybe, let me see the colors are maybe brown, okay? So I'm going to put the color of the text to be brown. Maybe this is a too much color. Maybe it's something like brown. Yeah, brown one in here. So right now, what I'm editing in here is just the header. Okay. And the header, I have set to be the color of the header to be Azure, and the color of the text that are going to be everything inside here to be brown. Let's take a look at how it looks like right now. 1 second. Let's reload. And there you go. I have my header. And I have the letters in there to be brown. Maybe I do not want this space between the header and the body. Maybe I want the header to be a little bit more closer to the top. Don't you think so? Right. So I can also set another property for that header. Let me put a semicolon because you want semicolon to separate different properties. Okay. And then I put in there padding top. And I'm going to put negative 20 pixels. And now, if I reload this, 1 second, give me 1 second in here. Doesn't seem to be taking my padding. There you go. A little bit closer.
How
but
did
this
you
is better.
center? How did you center the list in the table?
Huh? The center, yes. So basically
Oh.
what I did was the center, right? I move it to the closing part of the center element. I move it to the end. Okay. All right. Any questions so far? This is what is a style inline style. Okay. I'm going to put in a comment so you can see. Inline style. Link. Okay. Any questions so far? No questions so far? Now we are going to do what is the. Now we want to do what is the internal styling. You can do the internal styling in here in the body, or you can do it here in the head. I'm going to do it here in the head. So do a style. And inside this, I'm going to provide a styling for one of my elements in here. So the styling I'm going to use for let's see, for the table. So if I want to deal with tables, okay, I put if you don't, okay, there are things that are called selectors. Okay, you can select by element, you can select by ID, or you can select by class, right? Right now, none of my elements has any IDs. I'm going to show you later, and none of my elements right now has a class name, okay? Therefore, I'm just going to put an element, and I'm just going to edit so that every table that I create will have the same style, okay? So for that, I'm going to put table and then open. Okay, but then here I have in here a style, and this in here I'm going to set that the table not just the table. Yeah, the table background color will be beige, just because background colors are beautiful, right? So right now, what do you think is going to change in my code for the table? The background color, yes, of all the tables that are created. Right now, I deleted one of my other tables, so I only have one table, but you will take a look at it. I reload, and there you go. We have one table with the beige background color. Okay. I'm going to take away the footer here, the value for the footer, because I don't have anything to put in here on the footer. And make a like this. Now, so far so good. Let's make the width of this, the width of the table to be a little bit bigger, because we want the bigger table, okay? So we are going to do that on the top right now. Okay. So I'm going to put the mint width to be 100%. Semicolon. So right now, if I go ahead and I run this, I will see that the width of this is bigger. Okay. As big as my is big, right? Any questions so far? And let's make just this the header, the heads. Yes.
Wait, what? Can I see the code? Because I didn't see how you put how you made the width for the table.
Yes. Here. I put minimum width and to 100%. So Christopher, to answer the question, what is the difference between width and minimum width? So minimum width is more of a responsive way of using CSS, because you want to make sure that right now, because I have 100, you won't see the difference, but you want to make sure that your elements will have a minimal width, minimal height, meaning that it's not going to be a smaller, or it's not going to be smaller than you are expecting it to be. Okay. You're welcome. And let's see what else can we do. I'm still wanting to work with the table, but more specifically, I want to work with an element within the table. So I'm going to do table. Let's see, what is it that I have? T-head. Okay. That's fine. And I'm going to probably just I'm going to use not T, I will just T-head. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a / because I mean, I'm going to have this. And what I'm going to do is this in T hat is going to be a child of table. And what I want to do is I want to make the font size bigger. Okay. You can do like larger stuff like that. We can change it later, but I want to show you something. I'm going to reload, and it's going to make it a little bit bigger for the font size. But let me give it a little bit of a more bigger size. Let's say I want to put 8 rem. And voila, I have a big headings for my how do you say this, for my table. What do you think about it? I'm going to make it smaller, and I put a RAM because a RAM is more responsive. Okay. I'm going to make it font size 1.3.5. All right, so we have in here a bigger font size. You can also change the font family and so on. Okay. Any questions so far? But now,
Can I
yes?
see the code again?
Sorry, can you repeat that question?
The code where you make the name and address bigger.
Yes, this part and here. Table, anchor brackets, T hat. So I have a question in here. When to use RAM, when to use pixel, when to use percentage. So pixels are it's a value based on the pixels on the actual pixels of your computers or screen. Okay. Percentage is a value. So basically pixels are absolute. Okay. And they are going to be based on your screen resolution and so on. And if you say that it's 24 pixels, it's going to be 24 pixels, no matter in which device you are in and so on. RAM, on the contrary, as what we say, RAM is for it's going to be relative. It's going to be relative to the document font size, and it's going to also be more of a responsive way. It's going to be relative. It's going to change depending also on your device and so on, and your screen size and so on. Okay. So RAM may become bigger or smaller and so on. Correct. Pixels will be absolute units. Okay. And also we have what is the M. We have M, we have RAM, we have pixels and percentage. And yes, you can convert from one unit to the other as well. Yeah. All right. So We have already shown, by the way, this in here, by putting the element name, you can edit the element name. But if you want to target a specific element, you can have what is called classes, or you can have what is called ID. And therefore, then you can have what is called a class name, or a class selector, or an ID selector in CSS. So in order for you to be able to use the ID selector or the class selector is this way. So let's say, for example, I have this. We have this, this in here, this ally that I want to specifically target, okay? And I'm going to give it an ID name. So I'm going to give it the name of USA, okay? An ID name of PA or PAN, because, you know, we don't have to confuse it with Philadelphia, or I mean, Pennsylvania. And then you have what is CAN, because we don't want to confuse it with California. Okay, so we have USA, PAN, and we also have CAN, okay? And also we have DUL, and this UL, going to put it, so for example, in here, I'm going to give it a class. And this class is going to be called countries. Okay? So I have a class and I have ID for each one of them, right? So are you guys ready to see the magic? I can either show you here. I can show you here in the style, but I don't want to show you in the style now because this is for the internal, and I want to show you by using our styles sheet external, because you have seen internal and inline style. Now it's time for you to know about, so I'm going to put a comment in here. This is internal. Now it's time for you to learn how to use the external styling with CSS, okay? So all you have to do is put the class names. So by the way, I'm going to show you this. Body, for the elements, you just put the name of the elements, okay? For the class name, we use a period, and this is going to be countries. And for the IDs, you're going to put a pound sign, or hashtag, or number sign, however you want to call it. So I'm going to put USA, and in here we'll do one for Canada. I mean, one for Panama, and one for Canada. And pound sign, and there you are going to do this. I'm going to go ahead and just change the background colors of each one of them, or I can even change this to be like an image in the background or something like that. But for now, I'm just going to have different background color, maybe cornflower, okay. And this one, background color. And I'm going to put for Panama. Dark green, okay. And for Canada, I'm going to put those whites and save. For countries, all I want to do is to put the font family to be a different font family. And I'm going to go ahead and do search it. All of these different ones. And for the body, I'm just going to do font weight. And I'm going to put it bolder. All right. So we have this. Now let's go ahead and show you the difference, right? So, what if I want to remove the bullet? What if I want to remove the bullet from my from this, like from my list? You can do so by setting the style to none, right? So let's go ahead and show you. I can either do it one by one in here. I can do it directly inside here, but it's fine. I'm going to do it one by one. Leah. I can also change the style type, and I'm going to put it none for the USA. I'm also going to show you how to change it for let's say, for example, list the style, and I'm going to change it to, for example, Georgian. Oh, it's just a random style that I have put in here, and then list the style type. I'm going to go ahead and maybe put a circle in there. Semicolon. And take a look. I'll go ahead and reload. This is a none because I have removed the American ones. And this is a Georgian thing from the country Georgia. You know, there are some different characters and different letters in the Georgian thing. And this is a circle, right? If you feel like not doing it, you do not do it. But what if I wanted to change the style for the list item for the numerical? There are two ways. One, either you do it by HTML, or one you can do it by CSS. Okay, but since we are already going over the CSS, I'm going to show you how to do it with the CSS. So I want to use Romans. Okay. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to not do it for, I'm not going to do it for this one by one because that's a lot of work, and sometimes not always, well, sometimes it's work smarter, not harder. So I'm going to be putting just the name in here of the element, and I'm going to set it for the list type, and I want to do uppercase Roman. Roman or Latin? I don't know which one is Latin, which one is Roman. I think it's Roman numbers. So there you go. You see? Okay. If you feel like using the alphabetic, you can just change it to alpha. So it's gonna show A, B, C. All right. So, any questions so far?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is it possible you could use the image source function to use your own image as the bullet points?
Yes. Yes, you can do so as well. Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. All right. So basically, if you want me to show you, I can show you an example. If you don't want me to show, I don't need to show. So do you want me to show you?
Yeah, I want to see it.
Yes. Okay. So in CSS, when you're going to put the address as of an image, you are to I'm going to use the same image that I have, feather.jpg, okay? In CSS, when you want to put an image, and now I wish I could have smaller images right now, but I don't have smaller images right now. But I'm just going to show you quick, and then I'll go back to the same thing, okay? So style, image, and then you put URL. And inside the URL, you put the address of your image. So my feather JPG, my feather JPG is already in the same folder. So I just have to put the name of this file. And then when I go ahead and go into here, you can see the image is super mega big, but you cannot see if you need to have smaller images out there to put it as a bullet, okay?
Yeah,
Got
okay,
it?
I got it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Let me go back and put it as it was before. All right, guys, it's your time to explore and code your page. I'm going to give you a link so you can keep exploring, okay? But now you know you can use there are different selectors. One is just putting the element itself. One is putting the class name, and another is putting the ID, okay? For the ID, usually you want it to be unique, but sometimes some people just like are lazy and put the same ID for some other elements. Yes?
I have a question.
Mhm.
Well, in the CSS, how can we write nodes the same as in the HTML? Does it matter?
Sorry, can you repeat that question?
To write nodes is the same way as you do it.
You mean to write comments, right?
Yeah, comments, my bad, comments.
For comments, 1 second, / and then close / in there. To write comments, you are going to put a / and then you put a star, and then you put the comments that you want to put. ID selectors.
Same
Okay.
Java.
Huh?
It's,
What did you say?
I said is the same as Java.
Yes, but this, yes, for a multiple line code, yes. Mhm. And also you can use that in JavaScript as well, Java and JavaScript as well. All right, and also C++ as well, yeah. All right, but remember the CSS is not a programming language. It's a language, but not a programming language, okay? All right, so give me 1 second while I look for the code, the resource that you have to self-explore. And then I will give you the task for the day, okay? Give me 1 second, please. One quick second. Where is the links of notebook in here? Okay, so there, this is one. I'm going to copy and paste it here. And, oh, 1 second. CSS. 1 second. And the other. And the other is this. Okay, so there is an exercise I want you to practice with at the bottom, and the first one I want you to explore with. Okay, so you have 20 minutes for that, and then I'm going to go over the homework for today. Okay, and so 20 minutes. Okay, explore. So it's your choice, guys. To be in person, remember to watch the sources that I give you. Okay. Remember that this is for your benefits. Okay. Right. So I'm going to stop the post the recording. Yes. So again, the task for today was to work on your own web page, and this web page will be customized to your liking. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you. Bye-bye. Good night. Oh yes, Mamatu, do you still have another question? No?
No, thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.